Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me today Chris Brown with the Chris V. Brown Foundation. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So, Chris, for those who may not know, what is the Chris V. Brown Foundation?
The Chris V. Brown Foundation is a local foundation here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we raise money to help send kids on the north side of Jacksonville to college. So we sponsor them with scholarships to attend college at a 2-year or 4-year university anywhere of their choice.
Okay, wow, that's great. And I think I know you said this is a company, but this is a nonprofit.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make sure people know that because
Nonprofit,
okay,
correct. Yes, ma'am.
Everyone gives, and so a lot of people give more to nonprofits. I want to make sure they knew that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So you're welcome. So this is a great. First of all, this is phenomenal what you're doing.
Thank you.
There are so many people who really would excel in college if they only had a way to pay for it.
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is great. But where did this come from? Where did this passion to help kids, and especially those kids that are a little, have less advantages?
Yes.
Where did this passion come from?
Well, thank you for asking. Well, this really comes from me and the way that I was raised. My grandmother, she ran a child's daycare back in Anderson, South Carolina. So I always was involved as a teenager growing up in helping and giving back and, doing different activities with the youth there. I was actually a nonprofit organization major in college at the University of South Carolina, upstate. And I used to work for the Boy Scouts of America. That's what brought me to Jacksonville, Florida in 2010. Mm-hmm. I transitioned from the nonprofit arena to do pharmaceutical sales, but I still had that fire and passion inside to want to give back. So I started volunteering in the Cleveland Arms area of town, north side, where the kids would attend the Ribault and Raines High School. And I chose West Side High School as my third scholarship recipient because I went to a West Side High School back in Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay, I
can identify
IT
with
advisory board.
Yes, ma'am. So from there and from volunteering, I saw that it was an opportunity for me to do more. So during COVID season, I developed a love for golf, and I was like, man, golf, fundraiser, scholarship, foundation. And starting a foundation was something that I always wanted to do. And so it all just kind of came together, and I started it December 31st of 2021, and here we are today. So.
Okay. Wow, that is great. So how many, have you sent any children to college yet?
That's another great question. So April 29th of 2023 at the Tay on Talbot, we will be recognizing our first round of high school seniors. So we'll have 6 high school seniors total. It'll be 3 boys and 3 girls, 2 from Westside High School, 2 from Raines High School, and 2 from Ribault. And they will be receiving scholarship for the first time. Right, so our first wave of students will be this year. And we recognize them.
That's pretty exciting.
In a few weeks here.
Yes, yeah, that's really exciting. Have they picked out their schools and everything yet?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. I'm sure they have.
Scholarships are still coming in. The deadline is April the 5th, so it's coming up. And then and the board and I, we will do our review. We'll go through them and we'll select them then. And we'll present them at our event on April 29th, and then we will recognize them at their events at the school.
Okay, wow. So obviously with the nonprofit, when you have these fundraisers, things like that, you probably need volunteers. You always need donations.
That's right.
So how do people contact you if they're, interested in an organization, interested in giving back? Because there's a lot of people that I've met from Jacksonville, and they really are always available to help kids from the West Side or North Side. And so, because, especially when they're at a disadvantage or they don't get the same services.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we are a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. You can find us on Instagram at Chris V. Brown Foundation. We have a website. It's the chrisvbrownfoundation.org. And you can also find us on Facebook at Chris V. Brown Foundation.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris, thank you so much. And I wish you all the best with the selection. It has to be crazy, but
Yes, ma'am.
it's exciting. 6 kids.
It is, and the excitement. I'm going to piggyback off that because as they have begun coming in, I read over a few, um, you know, just this past weekend, and just kind of reading them, and some of the kids, um, and with some of the kids, saying they will be the first person
And
to
their
attend
families.
college. It's really, bringing it all home. It's not about the golf tournament that we do to raise money. It's about, raising the money to give to these high school, seniors who don't have the financial
Right.
resources
But have the desire
but
and
have
the
the
passion.
desire to
Right.
passion. So yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and I'm just looking to building on what we have, and being here forever and been for a long time.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today and hearing about this great foundation. Please go to chrisbrownfoundation.org to make a donation and send these kids to college. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.